we were booing him. Like honestly,
within the first quarter, we were already booing.
Yeah, we were just as impatient as the fans that were in the game, like on the field and stuff in the stadium.
Yeah,
and no other team would boo somebody that fast.
But how many balls did he throw into the ground?
Oh my goodness! And all the ones that he threw in the ground were no more than like screens and stuff. Like they were side passes,
2 feet away.
Yeah, 2 feet away. No more than a few yards out.
But you're right. They were screen passes. They were off to the side. He'd throw it in the ground, and then. But very little did I think. Well, I guess it's rust. He was rusty because even when it came to preseason, we didn't really see Russell Wilson play that much during preseason.
Yeah.
He was only out there for a little while, so it wasn't like we got to see what he could really do. And one thing certain, after watching that game, he can really throw the ball. And he seems to me that he sees things a lot faster. Like he's able to...
he can view open weapons.
Yeah, but he's able to kind of dial up and understand what the defense is going to do.
Yeah.
So he reacts a lot faster than Fields. And it could just be Fields' inexperience.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't coached correctly. And, and that's going to come over time. But Russell Wilson is a veteran. He's done this, a million times. And he really did play a lot better than I imagined. And the coach did the right thing
for once.
Yeah, for once. Well, everybody leading to this, it's like, Tomlin, what are you doing?
Everybody, even people like Bill Belichick, he had to give him kudos.
Well, even Ben Roethlisberger on his podcast,
he even said, why take him out?
Yeah,
Ben Roethlisberger still thinks that how they did it was bad. I do agree.
Yeah, but I
do think that Mike Tomlin has this sort of plan in the second half of the season, wanting to know his weapons. Like he wants to know both wide receivers.
Yeah, but also there's a lot more mixed into this than you realize, because you said that if Fields plays more than half of the snaps throughout the year, then we have to give up a fourth round pick.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to play into it as well. And this very well could be. We have Russell Wilson for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
This very well could be his only year with the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And because they're not going to want to fork out this big contract. I mean, they got him right now for what, $2 million?
Not much.
I think it's $2 million.
It's the Broncos that are paying us.
Yeah, but I think it's only $2 million. And it's like, we have an opportunity to capitalize on him being with the Steelers right now. So I think that's a good thing.
I think one good idea on them doing this is that it not only encourages Justin Fields to step it up a notch, because he's realizing what he needs to do to be that quarterback, but I don't even think Justin Fields was much on the sidelines during Chicago. And I do think there's benefits on being on the sidelines, because you get to observe and study defenses a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sitting here trying to look at your wide receivers, trying to find who to pass. And by the way, when it comes to the difference between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, I do have to say I think Justin Fields is really good at deciding whether or not to run versus throwing. I think he's really good at escaping the pocket and turning what should be a loss for a gain.
He's a running threat on the field.
But I think Russell Wilson, he's really good at utilizing all the wide receivers and weapons. I haven't seen a Steelers offense look this complete in a long time. And Russell Wilson threw to nearly everybody he could have thrown to.
Oh, yeah. And finally, we have some throwing touchdowns. And
2 of them.
I mean, yeah, you want a good running game, and that is the backbone of your offense. If you don't have a running game, you pretty much don't have a passing game.
Yeah.
But the opposite can occur too. If all you are good at is running and you can't pass the ball, that can also hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the Steelers were with, with Fields, is that,
one-dimensional.
we started scoring points, but for a while there, even though we were winning games, we were winning games based on, like, that one game we won just based on the kicker's foot.
The Boswell. It was Atlanta. Nothing but 6 field goals.
6 field goals. So
I thought that was.
We didn't score one touchdown, and and that was kind of like the pattern up until last week, because even though we scored
32 points during the Raiders game.
Yeah, was any of that passing? I don't think so. I don't remember a passing touchdown.
I can't remember one either. There was one that could have been, but once again, Justin Fields was past the line of scrimmage.
Well, who do you think was the MVP in that game? Because I'll tell you what,
I think Beanie Bishop is the MVP, because I don't think, if it wasn't for that interception before the half, I don't think the Steelers' momentum, their offense wouldn't have been as energized coming into the second half.
No, he had 2 picks, right?
2 picks. Did you know? I don't know if you know this, but Beanie Bishop is actually sending his footballs to Aaron Rodgers to have him sign them.
Mm-hmm. No, was it just 2 picks?
Nah, it's... Oh, man.
Oh, we were talking about that?
Yeah, we were talking about that in the car.
There was a 3rd pick in the game.
Yeah, he ends up picking his nose.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
That was disgusting. It's like, 3 picks in the game. 2 from Beanie Bishop, and Aaron Rodgers had a pick.
Mm-hmm. But, I thought Beanie Bishop was hands down the MVP. I think him and Russell Wilson were just really...
and the thing about that is, where is it?
What are you looking for?
I thought I had it up here.
Well, anyway, I thought Najee Harris was doing really good too, because we haven't seen him do much of anything up until the Raiders game. But he's done really good the last 2 games, over 100 yards. If he keeps this up, he's got to get over 1,000 yards this season again.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that Najee Harris...
Well, they said that he had 2 100-yard games in a row, and he hasn't done that in.
He's getting so excited. He's saying the N-word in the press conference. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Yeah, but part of that is because we are, opening up the throw, and it's allowing him to. Plus, he's playing very well. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying that last game, when you're throwing good, that can open up the run as well.
Yeah.
But I was going back to Beanie Bishop. I didn't realize this until last week when you mentioned something, that he's an undrafted free agent that we picked up.
Yeah, I made a post on my personal account on Facebook, and you don't see this with many teams in the NFL. And when you look at a team like the Jets, they're basically an outdated Packers team. Mm-hmm. They're getting people from the Packers that are past their prime. Okay, they're starting to age up, and they're just not going to be as good as what they used to be. But people like the Steelers, they can take players that are supposed to be like nobodies, just your average Joe, and they could grab people like
James Harrison.
Yeah, James Harrison, just like a handful of undraftees or just players that didn't do well in other teams, like Justin Fields and stuff. He has been playing a lot better since he's been to the Steelers.
Well, they have really, really good coaching. And even Justin Fields said that.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching, and he even said training camp was so much different than what he had with.
He didn't just say that.
Chicago.
He was like he's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Steelers hands down.
Yeah.
Like he said that with such confidence, and he said that so fast that it's almost a night and day difference.
Well, that's nice to see that somebody who was not drafted got the opportunity. Didn't do all that great playing against Dallas, but really turned it around last week and just showed that, yeah, he deserves to be out there. Now, whether or not he's going to be out there come like week 10,
yeah,
because week 10 is when Cam Sutton should be returning.
Yeah, I was actually just looking that up right now.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we were talking about cornerbacks.
Yeah.
And Cam Sutton should be returning. So
he was suspended for 8 games, so he's still suspended this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then week 9 is our bye, and then we're going to be playing the Washington Commanders from week 10.
Yeah.
So he should be back. Now, do you think they'll... I mean, again, it's a good problem to have depth, but do you think that they'll
use him a lot, like the entire time?
He hasn't played.
Probably on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they're going to do, like, supposedly a Roman Wilson. I know he's injured again, but when they had him play that one game that he ended up playing, he only played like a handful of snaps. You're not going to just throw him in there for like half the game or something. Maybe no more than like a quarter of the snaps, like a quarter of the game. They'll probably play him.
No, Nick Herbig's out again, I think. With a hamstring.
Yeah, he's just going to be out.
Yeah. But Highsmith is playing again.
Yeah, Highsmith. I'm pretty sure he actually.
Well, I heard that the
week.
Giants are missing 2 offensive outside linemen or something like that.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that.
For the next thing.
Another episode.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people had to apologize, not just to Russell Wilson, but to Mike Tomlin.
Well, I also think Fields was a man in all this because he knew that he didn't play as well when it came to throwing.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he had grace with all that, which is great. I mean, I can't stand it when players are like nasty, and he really was a gentleman. It
shows leadership.
Yeah, it does show
because
leadership.
He's holding himself accountable.
Yeah.
And it's not like Aaron Rodgers, where he's pointing at the press saying, well, just not listening to you guys.
Yeah.
Like
he can't accept, hey, it's me. I need to play better.
It's hilarious that when he goes to the Jets, that all this stuff changes, and you witness how long has Justin Fields? I think 4 years he's been in the league. It's almost embarrassing to see that Justin Fields gives much more maturity than what Aaron Rodgers did during the press. It is just, it's honestly like just sad in a way. But I was listening to Steve Young on the situation with Aaron Rodgers, and he said that there's 3 there's 3 people that you don't want to like mess around with when it comes to like your organization, and that's your fans, the press, and your teammates. Because if any of those 3 things you end up like disregarding or making fun of, that affects the whole team. Because if you're making fun of the press, they won't talk good about you. Okay, they won't encourage it because all 3 is rooting for the same thing.
Yeah.
For you to win. So to sit here and throw your accountability on someone else, like blaming the fans, blaming the press or whatnot, that's not a good image for you in the organization.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to teammates.
Well, talking about throwing, Russell Wilson had some really good throws.
Mm-hmm.
And the touch that he puts on those balls. And I do have to say, though, he puts the faith in the receivers. I mean, he's going to put it up there.
Oh, yeah.
He'll put it in an area that the defender can't get to. But we had some pretty good circus catches. One-arm catches, one-hand catches. I mean, it's...
Oh, if he sees a one-on-one, like a 50-50 with George Pickens, he's got to bomb it down there. Especially if someone like...
What do they call that? A lob?
Yeah.
He just likes to go...
Especially if someone like a cornerback like Sauce Gardner ends up going out for a play and George Pickens is getting paired up with like a backup cornerback. Russell Wilson notices that. And that's exactly what he did on that touchdown throw. In that throw, let me just tell you, that was a pretty good throw.
That's a throw that Roethlisberger would have done.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's how nice that throw was, because Roethlisberger did the same thing. He was so good at that type of throw in the back corner of the end zone. Okay, but he also had another throw that came across. Who was that caught? That was like another receiver.
Are you talking about the George Pickens where he's like...
No. I'm talking about one that was towards the end of the game. It was another receiver.
Was it the one hand? Did you say one hand?
No,
because that was Pat.
This was but I'm talking about a touchdown.
Oh, that was Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Did you know that Van Jefferson's
because
dad...
I didn't see that play.
Yeah.
I just heard that they scored another touchdown because I was at work.
Did you know that Van Jefferson's dad is the Jets wide receiver coach?
No, I did not know that.
I just find that funny because, it's what's the coincidence?
How did you learn that one?
I just seen it online.
Oh.
I just see that stuff online. I think Van Jefferson actually mentioned something or whatnot. But that circus catch with George Pickens, where it's like he's like playing hot potato with it, that's talent right there.
Yeah.
And I just find it funny because he drops some of the easiest catches.
Even Fryer, reaching out and grabbing that ball and bringing it in and catching it with one hand.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some very good receivers.
But I find it funny because George Pickens, there's instances that I've seen this year where he drops these throws that he should catch.
Yeah.
And one of them was actually in the end zone. I don't know what game it was, but there was one that he should have caught. But this one where no receiver in the NFL should catch, he ends up catching. Just like fumbling in there. And let's talk about that block field goal. Just the special teams that game was just insane. And there was the extra point that ended up getting flagged because of leverage.
Well, then explain to me.
And New York ended up saying that was an incorrect call. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin said that the NFL came to him saying that call should have never been penalized.
Oh, that was
the leverage one where he put his hand when
he just touched his back.
He touched both TJ Watt's helmet and one of the Jet jerseys or whatnot. He just touched his back, like you said.
He jumped over them.
Yeah, he jumped. That was all his feet. He didn't do any leverage.
Does it seem to me that special teams is doing a pretty good job?
I think, yeah.
Okay,
aren't they first or something, or what? Because I just think I just don't think I've ever seen a Steeler team in a long time. Okay, probably been 5 years since I've seen a team this solid before. Special teams was good. Defense was good. Offense was good. This is like a top 10 Steeler team right here. And I'm just hoping it gets better. I don't think Russell Wilson could get better than what he's already done. I think that's the Russell Wilson that you'll be seeing in most games this year.
Okay, well then I'm confused because I'm looking at the stats.
Yeah.
for special teams, and it's saying that the Steelers are ranked dead last for special teams.
Well, what's that for?
Well, it's for kickoffs, like meaning that
like kickoff returns?
Yeah.
Well, you want to know why that probably is? You want to know why that probably is?
Why?
For one, they're probably like, are you talking returns as in like yardage in like catching the ball? Because if that's what you're talking about, like how many yards you get, then for one, that just means that the Steelers are preventing touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Like preventing points. But it also could just mean the teams that the Steelers are playing against, they're probably just kicking it into the end zone a lot.
Because it seems like we've had a few block kicks this year.
Yeah, I think the special teams has been really they've been doing really good.
I thought so too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little, I don't understand.
That's probably talking about how well the Steelers are at returning kicks. That's probably what it is, because the Steelers are not dead last in special teams. I guarantee you that they are definitely not dead last.
Well, I wish they had a
reason to why they're last.
Well, Steelers are number 2 in turnovers, so we're a +9. Okay, in turnovers, which is really, really good. Only next to Buffalo Bills. So we're a +9 and Buffalo Bills is a +10. And everybody else is actually quite a bit farther down than we are.
Yeah. I saw a post on social media the other day in like point differential, like the spread of and the Steelers are, from what I remember, I think they were like top 5, like they were like the 5th most in point differential.
Yeah.
Like 60 points total with the spread. And a lot of that's defense.